and hopefully that should work, and we should be live. Hello everybody, how are we all doing this fine day? I'm doing pretty good on my end. We've got a few bits of Leedsy news to discuss, haven't we? And they're pretty significant bits, because numero uno, Patrick Bamford has sort of cut his contract with Leeds United. It is done by mutual termination. That'll be a sort of situation in which Leeds haven't paid off the full value of his contract, but will have given him sort of a settlement fee to say, okay, you're not at the club anymore. Away you go. You are now a free agent, which I think is sort of the right thing to do for Patrick Bamford. He kind of had to do that at some point. He wasn't going to stick around forever. I don't think he was going to get any minutes this coming season. He wasn't even going to be registered for the squad, in my opinion, this coming season. So it's the right move to make, I believe. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about the Facundo Buonanotte stuff, where we have discovered that Leeds have a very, very strong interest in Facundo Buonanotte, and I've got a couple of little updatey bits surrounding that to discuss as well, which I think will be very interesting. What the fuck is that? But we'll get into all of that as we go. And we're going to start off with the... That's a good point as well. Schmidt is also off the books. I completely forgot to mention that one. Thank you for the reminder there, Shane. I'm just going to hop over to this screen and desperately hope that... There we go. The chat rocks up. I hope Bamford comes back to coach for one day. I hope so. I think he'd be a sort of well-suited guy for the club, I believe. But it'd be kind of an interesting one. And let's be honest, he seems like the kind of guy that could do well as a coach. He seems like he would be a good guy to do like punditry stuff as well. He seems to understand the game, and he seems to understand everything around the game, so that'd be quite interesting. Meslier, I imagine, will find an exit before Monday, because Monday being the transfer deadline, he's not going to be registered as one of our senior players, so no matter what, he's going to be on the way out at some point. Greenwood has gone over to Poland. Ramazani has gone to Valencia. I'll be able to keep a bit of an eye on him because my DAZN stuff means that I sometimes cover La Liga games. Who they got this weekend? That's of interest to me right now. Let's have a look. Getafe tomorrow, so that could be quite fun. Yeah, Ramazani being on loan is one that makes sense in my opinion, because I think to permanently lose him would be the wrong move. But who knows? If Meslier isn't gone, do we still have to pay a salary? Yes, because he still sort of has a contract. Unless we do a similar paying him off kind of deal with Ramazani as well. Not Ramazani, with Meslier as well. But that'd be fine. I'm not crying, definitely not. I'm in the same boat. I'm really, really sad. Does that leave another slot? No. All of these are players that we sort of expected to leave. Wait, hang on. Hold on. Let's go over to the slot counter. Because I think we need to go to the slot counter. The slot counter being my list of players that are potentially leaving or definitely leaving. So fine, drop a cheeky little F11. There we go, right. So if I hop over to monitor 2, this is the list. Ramazani is now in black because Ramazani is no longer at the club. Therefore, this has become open slot. And I'm going to hit the sort of big bit of news in a moment's time. I'm just going to say hello to the wife who has just arrived home. So I'll be one very, very quick minute. Have a nice chill amongst yourselves and shout various topics of conversation at me. I will be a moment. Hello, friends. I'm back. What's up? How we doing? Buenos dias, chiquititas. Let's go to the facey cam again. Why does it always delete everything? That's absolute pain. Anyway, where were we? Jetting from Schwäbisch near Stuttgart in the morning to Mirovic. I don't know. I've not really seen anything firmly around Demirovic in the past couple of days. It's all been sort of loose stuff. But it's a big possibly. I don't want to commit too hard in either direction because I don't want to make a silly mistake and say something that is wrong and then look a little bit of a tit, to be honest with you. So I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see if there's any more sort of stories hovering around Demirovic. But for now, I'm going to say it's maybe not going to be the case. We'll sign another 9. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a big maybe. We've got one open slot at the moment. And in my opinion, that probably goes to Buonanotte. I will go into a little bit more detail on that in a few minutes' time. Then after that, we would need to sort of drop another player in order to go from there. And we also had Daniel Farke say the other day that earlier today, that he didn't believe there would be any more outgoings, which makes it a little bit complicated for me. So I don't know. Mr. Start, where's Bamford gone? Bamford has gone on a free. He's had a mutual contract termination, which effectively means that his contract is invalid. The club have paid off a portion of it, not the entire value of it, but to sort of like get him off the books and say you can just go somewhere. And we no longer owe him anything because we have sort of negotiated the settlement. Means places like Wrexham might be able to afford him. Yeah, it depends on wages though, I guess. We have 3 9s plus Harry Gray, we won't get another. That's where I'm maybe sitting on it. I don't think we should have sold Piru. Like, come on. It's very, very early to be throwing last year's starting number 9 in the bin because he's had 2 matches where he's not scored a goal. Isn't Buonanotte under the age of 20 not required to be registered? This is a complicated one. So, let's head over here and go Premier League squad registration rules. Right, let's read through it and let's see if we all come to the same sort of conclusion on what we need to be doing. If I head over to monitor number 2, there we go. This is homegrown player stuff. That's not really appropriate here. It's not really necessary. Here we go. The club's under-21 players are not included in the 25-man squad lists. These players are also eligible to play in the Premier League. However... Oh, that's changed. Interesting. Okay. For the 25-26 Premier League season, under-21 players will have to have been born on or after the 1st of January 2004. So if I do a quick search of Facundo Buonanotte, who was born on the 23rd of December 2004. So we would get to use Buonanotte without taking a chunk out of that squad list. So if I come back over here, then we say do that, and then the special young Buonanotte corner is just down here as number 26, I suppose. Because I thought it was 2 years at the same club, but that must have been an old requirement. But that's very interesting. That's quite good. Very beneficial. When's the international break? It's after Newcastle. So you get the Newcastle match. All of the Premier League matches that weekend are played on Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Friday. I don't know. But they're played before Monday because they can't keep the players on the Monday. So, who knows? Look a bit what? Look a bit of a ship of sail, Jojo, and the rest. What are you? I'm very confused. How does that affect PSR? Or is that not an issue? It's kind of the loss of an asset. So it would be somewhat negative for PSR, but it wouldn't ruin us from a PSR perspective, which is pretty good. It's not the worst place to be in terms of PSR, to be honest with you. Can players a 10 or wide wouldn't impact the registration. He's under 21. It would be a smart move if they plan to bring in one more after. Yeah, that would be a pretty damn good move for me. Signing Facundo Buonanotte. I'm going to have a little bit of a look at the details of the Buonanotte thing. in a moment by taking a look at Barron's article on it, because I think it's worth talking about. So, Leeds are pushing to finalise a move for Buonanotte. Now, I've got a little bit more of a deep on this that I've heard from like 3 or 4 different people, so I'm going to go for that. He's been tracked by Daniel Farke throughout the summer, but talks accelerated today. The left-footed forward predominantly played down the right and through the centre for Leicester. These are Leicester. Baron, you've spelt Leicester wrong. Which is interestingly exactly what we need. We someone that can play on the right flank. If you can play on the right flank and down the middle, then that's a couple of options, and it makes us a little bit more versatile, puts us in a far better position, in my opinion. In 31 appearances, 14 of which were starts, scored 5, created 2. Not too bad for being in that Leicester side, which were genuinely dreadful. Known to be keen to send him out on loan again, with preference for keeping him in the Premier League, just to make sure he's got sort of experience against that level of opposition. Will be the 11th addition to Daniel Farke's squad. Right, this is the bit that annoys me, okay? And it doesn't annoy me about what I've been doing in terms of squad building or in terms of reporting or anything like that. It annoys me in terms of what people have been saying about the club, because the number of people that have pulled out that same, like, Leeds are asleep again, or Blunderwood line of, like, we've made 11 senior signings and multiple youth signings. Get a grip. We're okay. Since the arrival of Okafor, he's made no secret of his desire to further reinforce his attacking options with 1 or 2 arrivals. He'd compete with Dan James, Okafor, Nonto, Harrison, and Aronson for starts on the flanks. Specifically, Dan James is the competition. Okafor plays out on the left, Nonto plays out on the left. Harrison, I don't fucking know. Harrison is like the 3rd choice left winger, and Aronson is the 3rd choice right winger, but they can both do other roles. So Aronson is also a bit of a 10, also a bit of an 8. Harrison is also a bit of a left back. He's not going to play at left back at any point, but they are the 3rd choice for their position, and they can go elsewhere, which I think is fun. Ramazani's season-long loan was confirmed by the club on Thursday evening. So that is what has been said by The Athletic. I kind of want to see what has been said by the folks on The Athletic. Underwhelming going from signing Paishout, signing a young lad on loan from Brighton. That being said, should be a good signing, but it seems like they're doing it on the cheap. It's not doing it on the cheap. We spent more than £100 million. Jesus. Will bring some creativity. I agree. He's been very, very good at sort of making some opportunities. Yeah. I think we're in a pretty good spot if we make this signing done, to be honest with you. Sophie, I disagree, but that's because I think you've approached it wrong. So, Buonanotte should be a good signing. I agree on that part. One of our best this summer. I agree on that part. But saying I hope Farke doesn't give him the Spence treatment, it's fairly widely known at this point that the issue with Jed Spence was the fact that A, he had significant attitude issues, which if he was just a good footballer, fine. But B, he kind of broke the no dickhead rule. And the big issue with him breaking that no dickhead rule includes the fact that apparently he didn't visit a children's hospital at Christmas. So to put that on Daniel Farke, when in reality, there was a hell of a lot more that should have been done by Jed Spence, including A, performing better on a football pitch, and B, visiting sick children at Christmas. Yeah. I think to say that giving him the Spence treatment is a little bit harsh. Yeah, Spence himself gave Spence the Spence treatment. Right, Chris. Saying 49 is propaganda machine is mental, right? 1, not a very average player. Watch a bit of football from time to time. 2, this isn't some sort of like... It's not like out of reach and we're not going to get it done and all this kind of stuff. 1, Buonanotte is very much wanted by other clubs, including Borussia fucking Dortmund. So if we're looking at Dortmund and we're going, no other real club wants him, it's a weird argument to be taking on. And 2, he's clearly got a lot of quality about him. So to call it a propaganda thing to go, yeah, this guy's got some genuine talent about him, there's a reason that he's at Brighton in the first place. Brighton don't make bad moves, as a rule of thumb. Is Okafor injured? As far as I know, he's got a little bit of a niggly problem. Whether or not that is enough of a niggly problem to keep him out at the weekend, I don't know. I wasn't able to pay full attention to the presser, primarily because, Al will be honest, had a bit of a gas leak today, which meant that we had to leave the house for an extended period of time, and we've got no hot water. So, that's fun. So I wasn't able to properly pay all of the attention to the presser. So, I don't know. Okay, the Baron article that we are currently on, by the way, that we read a couple of minutes ago, has now gotten the retweet from Phil, and we know that Phil knows his stuff. I would be baffled if, after getting the Phil Hay retweet, he was wrong. Groin injury. Okay, that's not fun. DIY Joe dangerous. It's more that it's an old, dodgy house, so we'll sort it. It's all good. Do you still think we're bringing Solomon on loan? No, I think if we get Buonanotte, it's not Solomon that we get in. There's potential for another player coming in, maybe. And it could be a more attacking player, but I don't see it being a Solomon. If we were to sign... What's your name again? Buonanotte. There we go. That's a fun one to write, isn't it? Yeah, if we were to sign Facundo Buonanotte, I personally don't think that Manor Solomon makes any real sense. But that's fine. But Facundo isn't signed in time for Newcastle. Yeah, but that's okay. Like, it's fine. I believe, if I have a look at Premier League fixtures... We've got until midday tomorrow to get it done if we want him for this weekend, because the first Premier League match of this weekend is Chelsea versus Fulham on Saturday. You've got until noon the day before the first match of the match day. So that gives us until noon on Friday. So that could be quite good. And I'm very, very interested. Could Buonanotte lead to Aronson Piru leaving? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think... as much as everyone's sort of like, they're not going to start, you know, fine, but you need depth. The moment we get, like, the people that have been screaming that, like, Metcha and DCL are always injured are simultaneously like, yeah, but why don't we just sell Piru? And it's like, well, because you want depth. You can't just sell your depth. That's nonsense. Madness. Come on. We need a right winger. Jason O'Keefe, he is a right winger. So that's all good. I think we go for 9 because Buonanotte can cover the wing and 10. Can't rely on 2 injury-prone strikers. I don't think we'll end up relying on them. I don't know. And I think both of them being injured at the same time would be a wild state of affairs that I don't particularly see happening. But I don't hugely hate the move for Buonanotte. Hang on, I will do a poll, actually. There we go. Should Leeds sign Buonanotte? Yes, no. I do have a little bit of sneaky info that I got from a couple of work people and a couple of non-work people. That apparently Buonanotte was very close today. Didn't get done today, but it was a very, very, very close one. Who does Buonanotte start ahead of? I mean, one, he could reasonably be a bit of depth. Like, that's fine. 2, there's an argument for James. Because if we're looking at wing options on the right, it is Dan James, and that's it. I think having a bit of competition there is not a bad thing. And at the same time, you could ask, who does James Justin start ahead of? Well, in theory, he doesn't. But if he performs well in training, and he performs well in a load of other settings, there you go. There's a lot of opportunities for him to get more matches. It's one where I'm glad that we don't have a situation where it's like, and this person comes in and they immediately start, because that shows that it's a reasonably strong squad, and that's all right. Buonanotte starts ahead of James on the right to 5 goals and 7 assists. It wasn't 5 and 7, it was 5 and 2, I think. It was definitely 5 and 2. 94%, 93, 94, 94% of people currently thinking we should sign Buonanotte, which I think is a pretty damn good representation of what you guys are thinking. Who do our relegation rivals play this week? That's a good question. But I'm sort of opposed to the phrasing relegation rivals because I don't really think the league is sort of organised enough for that yet. So, On Saturday, Wolves play against Everton. I think they're going to be down there. Burnley play against Scum at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Sunderland are at home to Brentford. We are at home to Newcastle. West Ham go away to Forest. And, as I mentioned, Brentford, Sunderland. But we don't know who's going to be down there at the end of the season. It's a little bit of a weird one. It's very, very difficult. No, calm down after the Sheffield Wednesday result. Going to give him till October to get the team up to speed. I think the issue that I've had with a lot of the narrative that's been flying around over the past few days is, realistically, does anyone give that much of a shit about the Carabao Cup? No. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't care less. It was a case of, okay, this is where we get to see the fringe players a bit. And it'll be that when it's the FA Cup as well. This season is about the Premier League, and that's why I'm not mad that we did a big rotation. And it can happen to any team. Like, Scum aren't going to go down. But they lost to Grimsby. Imagine if they did go down. That'd be delicious. Glad we're out. Yeah, I'm in a sort of similar spot. It's like I don't mind us not being in the Carabao Cup. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those competitions that doesn't really mean anything. And yeah, sure, you might get a little bit further into the competition, but at the end of the day, you're not winning it because you've got, like, the top 6 just go, oh, okay, and just walk through the tournament anyway. There's nothing that you can do about that. Yeah, why risk injuries? Is my spot on it. Like, rotate, make sure no one gets hurt, come out of it okay. Because at the end of the day, it's survival that matters a bit. Sheffield Wednesday game was shit, but 80% possession and 20-odd shots. Scum and Sunderland lost to worse teams. They did. They lost to worse teams, and I think they lost in worse ways. Because in terms of the performance itself and the numbers behind the performance, yeah, the first half was boring and crap. But the first half is going to be boring and crap when you put a bunch of players that haven't really played together at all on a pitch and you say, have fun, see how it goes. That's never going to work. So the fact that things improved so vastly in the second half is pretty damn good for me. We got 2 point something XG, and the only reason we didn't win in the end was the fact that it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin's first 20-odd minutes of football, I think, in a while. And the fact that it was in those areas in the first place is a positive sign. And the fact that he was applying pressure like he was is a positive sign. And those finishes will come. He will play his way into form. He'll be fine. We got one Okafor. Okay, that's fine. But if you play a standard first 11, then all of a sudden it's not Okafor, it's Stack. And well done, you're down to 2 midfielders. Which is a bit of an issue. You think there'll be a surprise departure? It would take a lot of money, I think. Because at the moment we've got the right squad composition. So anyone that we sell, we would need to replace very, very, very quickly. So if it's Strauch, for example, then you need another left-sided centre-back. Or if it's Piru, then you definitely need another 9. And we're in a transfer window where it's proven that 9s are hard to get. Newcastle have tried, 4 or 5 different players and are only just getting across the line on Voltemada? So it's tough. Negative is Farke didn't sub Aronson and Piru at half-time. I didn't hate Aronson that much in the first half, I've got to be honest with you. He was one of the players that actually looked like he gave a shit, like he was giving a bit of energy to the match. And then when it came to Piru, it was, oh, okay, you're definitely not a number 10. With Demirovic out of the picture, what striker can we sign? Is Demirovic out of the picture? I've not seen that he's out of the picture. Let's have a look. No, there's been no news around Demirovic for a while. There is that weird flight that's coming in from near Stuttgart tomorrow as well, which could be of interest. Not Mitrovic. Mitrovic is the wrong vibe of player for me. I know a lot of people will look at Mitrovic and go, he's done it in the Premier League before, but at the same time, for the past few seasons, he's been playing in the Saudi League, which is a terrible standard of football. I've watched more Saudi League matches than I want to have, and it's not good stuff. And people will point to his scoring record over there and go, "Oh, that'll do." It's not good enough. Just joined. I'm gutted about the Pat news. I'm also gutted about the Pat news. I knew it was time to go, but it's sad. He was a good player when he was able to play consistent football, and then he stopped being able to play consistent football, which is a little bit of a shame. Would you not want Ivan Toney? Not on the wages that Ivan Toney would demand. So I'm going to quickly hop over to FBref and see what Ivan Toney is on. Last I knew it was stupid money. Apology, Ivan Toney. Jesus Christ. So, his gross income, and you got to remember that he's not paying taxes on it, currently sits at 612,000 euros per week. Ivan Toney? So, Toney isn't one of those that I'm going to look at and go, yeah, we should go for that, because that's mental. And he's got a contract until 2028, so he's got another 3 years on it. They paid him off, did he? Oh, well, you're still on about Pat? Maybe. I don't know. I don't believe those wages at all. You should. You definitely should. Because, and I'm going to keep this relatively vague. But I know that that sort of money is big because of who owns those clubs, the specific Saudi ones. That money is correct. Like, he is earning that. It's nuts. And therefore, I fully expect us to absolutely not touch that one, because that would be insane. That would be absolute madness. Under 21's play going for 64 million. Who's this? Did you share a tier? No, not quite. Because I knew it was coming. It's been coming for quite a while now. Are you okay there, Momo? I sense Spanish, given the way that you're doing laughing. But also, you can't spell Okafor, so that's quite interesting. You know the details of Bamford, I assume we paid off some but not all of his contract. That's my assumption as well. Yeah, we don't know the specifics of it. I'm guessing his statement thing is on Instagram. I've not seen what he said about it yet. I've still not seen the bastard statement. Where is his statement? Is it the one in the video? Seemingly not. Okay. Let's try the YEP. I like the way DCL was there when needed, and Farke said he needs playing time. Are we confident Farke will give him that? I think so. I think he recognises that Calvert-Lewin's movement was very, very nice. How to swipe at Farke or its video. Not all the statement, but a bit about not liking how it ended. A bit of a wild card. Would you take Calvin on a free? Possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure. Right, let's give it a read. Many have seen times come. Challenges ups, downs, strongly connected to the fans and the family. I'm just going to see if there's anything of interest. Right now, with the way it's come to an end and the way things have been handled recently, it's all a bit too raw to reflect on immediately, but I think in the years to come and further down the line, I'll look at this period of my life with nothing but joy, pride, and be super happy with what I've achieved, and the fact I was able to wear this number 9 shirt in front of you guys for this many years. General thanks to people. Thanking the managers, especially Marcelo. Thanking fans. He knows it's been frustrating. You probably pulled your hairs out at times. Yeah, I don't know what will have happened behind the scenes, and that's a story that I don't know if we'll find out at any point. But I'll be honest, it's one that I don't know if I want to find out because it might just make me a little bit more mad. The fact that it's feeling a little bit raw is never great, but oh shit. Two planes in tomorrow morning, one Italy, the other Stuttgart. Stuttgart's the one that I think might actually be a thing, but we don't know that for certain. There's nothing really sort of tying it firmly to anything. In the battle between the best option and the cheap option, oh Jesus fucking Christ, Chris. You can say this all you like, but we put in a bid that was equivalent to Marseille's for Igor Paixão. We offered them the same amount of money. We offered Paixão the same amount of money. The fact that they're a Champions League club and we're not was the difference maker. That's not something that is an Adam Underwood problem. That's a club's positioning problem. And that's not something that we can solve like this. Because the expensive players will also have, like, European football clubs looking at them and going, okay, we'll sign you. And they will go, ooh, I want to play in the Champions League, the Europa League. You can't just walk into a room, chuck 40 million quid on a table and say, you're coming to us. It's not how it works. And I think to assume that it is taking a hell of a lot of credit out of a lot of people that deserve it. Like, if we were to survive the season, I fucking promise you that everyone that is saying this is a horrible transfer window and the squad isn't good enough will not start giving that credit. They won't bother. Even a little bit. It'll be luck, or it'll be individual performances. Who decided that the individuals will play at Leeds? Who put them in the system that works? Stuttgart selling Voltemada so that... Oh, is Voltemada going from Stuttgart? If so, that probably takes Demirovic off the table. Shit, it is Stuttgart. Oh... That's annoying. That's a pain. If you had a manager you really believed in, then spending an extra fight... What are you talking about, Sly? What? Us? It's not a case of we needed to put more money on the table. It's the case of the player picked another club. Like, come on. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I'd see that now. Yeah. I'll be honest, it's been a day. I've been not with it. And I've been mainly focused on the sadness of Pat and the potential joy of Buonanotte. Which, we can hope they happen. We'll find out, but we can hope. I'll take more, but still think we have enough to survive. Yeah, I think the squad is in a decent position at the moment. Get Buonanotte and it looks even more decent. Do you not think Farke... I think the Farke pull narrative is bullshit. I've got to be completely honest with you. Because at the same time, you're not going to look at Marseille, for example, and go, oh, it's that De Zerbi pull. No one's going to West Ham and going, it's the Potter pull. Manager pull matters so little compared to, like, competitions. Like, maybe it was the case under Bielsa, but that's because he is very much the exception to the rule. What's the role of Buonanotte? Swear as a winger, but they let Largy go. Yes, Buonanotte is primarily a right winger, where Ramazani was a left. If you looked at our left flank, it was really unbalanced compared to the right. So on the left, you had Okafor, Harrison, Nonto, Ramazani. That was fun. Ramazani. On the right, you had James and maybe Aronson. So to get that left wing and say, right, okay, one of you on the list goes, and get an extra right winger to sort of bring that balance works. And in addition to that, Buonanotte can play in the 10, which means that we're sort of a little bit more balanced, a little bit more safe and good, which is nice. Whatever, Chris. I'll take 4 months until we see Okafor in good shape, know how to play with team, know the other play. What? Takes time. Farke doesn't have time, he needs wins. I mean, yeah, but we've got an entire rest of the squad. We will be fine. Are you aware of if a 10 is lined up? No, I'm not. Which is interesting. So I think it's maybe a Buonanotte covers that role if we need a 10. Is, I think, going to be the goal. Which I think makes sense, because if you're playing a 4-3-3, you don't really need a 10. Or at least a very, very dedicated 10. I'm predicting Aronson plays the 10 at some point against Newcastle. All season so far, he's played on the right rather than in the 10. So I don't really see that happening. But maybe. Quick question for you, by the way, Andrew. Can you do me a favour and tell me what time free practice is tomorrow? I will explain why afterwards, but I kinda need to know relatively shortly. Don't reckon Buonanotte is that great. They signed Rutte to play instead of him. Buonanotte is really young. The reason that Buonanotte isn't playing right now is because he's just 20 and they've got slightly better players. Like, Brighton being at the level that they are does not exempt Buonanotte from being a good player. In the same way that if you look at Man City right now and you say Ederson's shit, actually, because he's not even their first choice goalkeeper. That's James Trafford. Momo, are you doing okay over there? It feels like you're losing it a little bit. Baltimore flying into Leeds and driving to Newcastle. Well, that's devastating then, isn't it? Because I wanted Demirovic. Well, I didn't really want Demirovic that much, but fair enough. Thought it was about 24. No, he's just 20. Like, he's one of those names that you've heard about for a very, very long time, so you'll assume that he's older than he is. But Rizzo hardly played his first season with us. Yeah, but that's because large Samuel and Javi Gracia very much focused on the defensive stuff, whereas Rutte was more of a vibesman. Our most expensive is less than Burnley's most expensive and Sunderland's most expensive. Is it? Let's have a look at Premier League transfers. Right, Burnley. Their most expensive signing is Ugachukwu. Come on. If we're saying Ugachukwu and Broya are the players that we need to be scared of, paying more money for a player doesn't guarantee that they will be a better player. Diarra, maybe, yeah. Adingra was a decent signing for Sunderland. But I'm not personally looking at Burnley's biggest signings and going, we're in trouble now. Because I don't think quality is the biggest indicator of price when it comes to footballers. And just to check, that's UK time, right? Not local. Just because I'm now working those, so I have to make sure. Not saying about the players, just the money shows a lack of ambition. I don't think it does. Local. Ah, okay. Practice 1, 130. Practice 2 is at 3. Okay, cool. As in GB. Got you. Is what legit OBS? You haven't... Because this is very vague. This is very open. It's a very big question. Brownhill free, Mitrovic free, Buonanotte loan. If we have no money, Mitrovic, I personally don't want. I think he's a horrific influence at all the clubs that he's been at. Brownhill would be a maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't hate Josh Brownhill. Buonanotte is, I believe, on the way in, and I think we will sign him in the next couple of days. Buonanotte, whatever you call him. I believe Buonanotte coming in is going to be happening. Yes. I'm not gonna do the simulcast and be like, he's definitely here, because like I've learned. But what's 100k plus wage? He won't want 100k plus in terms of wages. Surely not. That's a little bit much to ask. Heard that before. Right, okay. I'll make you a deal, Carl. If he doesn't come in, then fine. But if he does come in, and you've made that statement of being like, oh, I've heard this before, he's not going to come, you owe me a channel membership. Hoo-hoo. On that note, if you haven't, pop a like on the stream and subscribe and all that fun stuff, because you got to get that in there. Otherwise, YouTube will be like, damn, that's a lot of views, but not very many likes. And then it doesn't push it in the algorithm. Yeah, what Pete said. Do the likey, subscribey. Ho ho ho. Thanks, guys. Graham tweet. Oh, we got a Graham tweet? Hold the line, friends. For we have a tweet from Graham Smythe. If I just scroll. Go to there. And then we go to monitor 2. And we go to this. Thank you, Dylan Gag, for tagging me. Leads close to a deal for Facundo Buonanotte. Initial plan was to travel today. I fucking told you. I told you he was potentially coming in today, but got delayed. But timing and logistics didn't work and the flight was cancelled. Could fly up tomorrow to complete a loan move from Brighton. Fits the 10 right-wing profile mentioned in today's newsletter. PL game week is on Saturday. That'll do. Bosh. Told you. Ha 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 ha. Sometimes I know things. Because you tell me Solomon doesn't have PL experience, what is Champions League experience? Who leads his Champions League games? Gudmundsson. That was fast. That was really fast. Definitely calling him Goodnight will take me a season to learn how to spell his name. I mainly know how to spell his name because I've done lots of Football Manager streams before. Jack! Oh my god, Jack. Oh, crack me up. That's so funny. I've never heard that one before. Woohoo! Oh, you're hitting the simulcast joke. Every single time it gets funnier. Oh. Startling. That burns. It stings. You got me. No jet on flight radar yet. Oh. Okay. I got 2 polls that I'm going to do, right? One of them will be about deadline day. And I will go... do a fly along stream tomorrow. If I'm not working, of course. Yay or no? Who's shutting Jack's conflicts? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he did. Maybe he got lost. Confused. It is the toilet. No, it's your breakfast, Jack. Every time, Jack. Stop pooing in the cornflakes. But he can't help it. It's relentless. It's just a constant flow. You prefer Frosties? Of course you do. I don't even know what that means. No, don't go answer. He scored versus Real Madrid. What are you talking about, Momo? One of the joys of this transfer season has been watching the ride along with you. Oh, thank you. Can you insert a clip of the vid you did saying... No, I don't think I can. I have one stipulation. You must have a co-pilot or air hostess. Oh God. Right. Okay. I can ask around and we'll see. If anyone is fancying it, then maybe. But if no one is fancying it, then I'm sorry. Would it be directly from Brighton Airport? I guess probably, right? Maybe. Yes, I did. Sly. Beyond that, there's still problems. Still some problems, but not related to that appliance. Right, there is. You know when you're looking at like a list of names of locations, and you're like, I don't know where that is actually. I'm assuming Bedford's in Bedfordshire. I don't know specifically where. Oh, yeah, fucking miles from Brighton. I did assume so, but I wanted to make sure. Where's Brighton? I know it's on the south coast. I didn't think it was this far along. Is Brighton just really small? Oh, Brighton is really small. Brighton's a diddy little babby of a town. Is Brighton considered a city or a town? I don't know. But I'm going to have to see if there is any potential for anything out of nearly Brighton. So it would probably be Brighton City Airport, right? Would it be? Because that looks like, in the kindest way, a bit of a shithole of an airport. So it might be Gatwick. But I'm not sure. Yes, it's a private airport. Oh, maybe. That doesn't hinder the argument. Shoreham. Where the fuck is... What's a Shoreham? Yeah, it's Brighton City Shoreham Airport. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think Shoreham would probably be the one. So I'll keep an eye on departures and stuff, of which there is nothing arranged for quite some time. And I don't see a single jet of any flavour. I can see a helicopter that's taking off tomorrow, but they're all props. Yeah, they're all props. Just a bus stop in Worthing. I like it. I like it. That works. Look at the training ground next door to the airport. Is it? Brighton training ground. Oh, it's the Elite Football Performance Centre. That's the most wanky name for it. Just say it's the Brighton Hull. That'll do. Yeah, it'll be Brighton City Airport, I guess then. So I'll keep an eye on it, and if I am available, I'll do it. But I don't know. We'll see. And 77% of you have said that we do a fly along, so that's quite interesting. I've got a 4 hour flight to Turkey on Monday, but I'll save you the trouble. I'm not signing. Oh, heck. I thought you might be. It's not fair. We're playing two teams, Brighton and Hove. And Albion. West Brom in there as well? Jesus. It's quite a lot. There's not Demiricson who might be travelling from Stuttgart. What I've heard is it could be Voltemada travelling into Leeds, and then Leeds goes north to Newcastle. Evie or Jer? Maybe. I'll ask around. Might come via Hull. Yeah, why not? What else was I going to ask? Right. Deadline day stream. What do? Why wouldn't you just fly to Newcastle? I don't know. I wish I'd. Why can't you buy Arctic Roll anymore? Because they've got too many corners. So you try and push it, it just doesn't roll because it's just like, oh, roll, and then, no, it's an edge. So that's the issue. That's why you can't buy Arctic Rolls now. And this is controversial because they're massively overrated. By a long way. Oh, you guys want the really, really long stream, don't you? Okay, that's fair. Okay. Do you promise to have the airplane noise? We could have an airplane noise, I guess. Is that a reflection of a light behind you or a takeaway lid? It's the light. You can see my hand in it there. Hold on. There we go. Because I need to point my ring light at me, and otherwise it just doesn't work. And that's the one place that I can put it. And sadly, it's right in front of a reflective thing. 24 hours is considered. I'm not doing a 24-hour stream. Because after the deadline day stream, I've got a game of football to play. So that one isn't going to be the best of ideas. In fact, when am I playing? Hey, it's a bloody good question, isn't it? Right, Fazio. Oh, I've got the 7:30 kickoff. Deadline's at 7. What's the world record for a stream? I don't know, but there have been marathon streams that have gone for more than a month. So I'm not doing that. More impressions like it. Thank you. Stream whilst travelling to the park. I don't know how. I've not worked that one out yet. I don't know how to sort of IRL stream like that, you know? 10 to 7. Maybe not 10 to 7. I think that one might be pushing it a touch. Nine to 6. Also pushing it. 7 with an hour after that, that'll be announcements. I'll work something out. It'll be fine. Yeah, I know it's a 7 close, and that's why it's a little bit of a problem. Because I like going to the end of the window. So if there's nothing going on... How to IRL stream on YouTube. It'll be tough. Do 11:8. I can't do 11:8 because I'm playing at 7:30. That's the issue that we've got here, guys. Don't bother, nothing will happen. We'll find out. I feel like something happens. Is the algorithm more positively affected by smaller streams or one big one? It varies a bit. So, yeah. I can't really answer that without knowing specifics, and I don't know what the specifics are. That one is most definitely not going to be happening. Firmin to Newcastle, really? What? Tag Wayman at 6, maybe. But then again, that's... Where's the hype button? What hype button? What's a hype button? I mean, I'll take people hyping, but what is a hype button? I'm unsure. I'll also see if anyone's doing a stream in a few minutes, because I'm going to bring this one to a close after I've done around an hour, which should be fine. Oh, thank you for being a member, Colin.
Smash the like, everyone.
That's not the Welshman. That's not the Welshman at all. It's infuriating. I miss. Oh, what the fuck do we call him? Was it Bryn Jones that we went with? Bryn Jones sounds right, right? It's probably Bryn Jones that we went for. Hyper's only in pre-recorded content. Damn it! Oh man, there's no hype around these parts no more. I've seen more hype for this hype button than hype created by this hype button. I don't know what the fuck the hype button is. What the fuck is it? Okay, I'm looking at only Leeds browser's thing from earlier, right? And I've opened it. And I don't see no hype. What the fuck is a hype button? I don't understand. Ask Joe. It's not on all vids because it's new. That's annoying. I'll open Joe's recent video, shall I? No, I don't see any hype. Where's the hype? I just want to feel hyped. Ah, well, it's fine. I'll work it out. Anyway, swipe the comment. What comment? What do you mean swipe the comment? Next or near the like button. No, I'm not seeing it. I'll have a look in a little bit. On mobile. You bastards. You bastards. Facundo flying in tomorrow from Brighton. Yes, I'm planning on doing, if I can, a little something on the Buonanotte move tomorrow. Might be a fly along if I can, but I am working both of the F1 practice sessions, so that could be a little bit rough. Right, let's pop YouTube open. Let's pop that video open. Let's pause that video. Oh, there is a hype button. Cool.
Truchwai bottom hoffy, that's Welsh version smile.
That sounds like Welsh for hype button, and I'll take it. Thank you very much, Pierre, for the super chat, by the way. Showers, I can't really show you because it would not come across very well because it is on phone. But yeah, what I'm going to do tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a video. And if you could do the hype thing on the video, that'd be lovely. I don't know if it works for me, but it'd be nice if it did. We'll see. Anyway, who's the winger we're eyeing up? It is Facundo Buonanotte, currently of Brighton, likely to be flying in tomorrow at some point. And tomorrow is when I will see you all next, because I'm going to bring the stream to a close in a moment. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to redirect everybody over to Imagine Not Being Leeds, because they have their weekly show going on. And I imagine there will be a little bit of... Ooh! Thank you very much, Chris, for getting a standard membership. That's absolutely wonderful. I appreciate that. Chris is going to get a bunch of videos early and stuff. So you should all be channel members. Anyway, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to bring the stream to a close there. Pop you all over to Imagine Not Being Leeds. He doesn't start for another 75-ish minutes. But regardless, you're over there. So in the chat, we're going to shout about cheese again. Because we always do. Because that's what we're good at. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Toodaloo.